So for those who don't know what hybrid major glitches is, this is a mode where you're allowed to do glitches in the overworld and a very select few glitches in the underworld, most of which involve clipping through walls, so nothing fancy with doors or anything. And unlike no logic, this mode does have logic. In fact, it has more logic than you might be used to. It has a lot of logic for, of course, clipping around in the overworld, but also for crossing between dungeons, which isn't really something you see outside of glitch modes. Alright, already a good spicy location. Flipper's on the island, which means you get to jump off and go straight to the place you were probably intending to go to, which is the hobo. This MrByer comes a con of sword. Always good to have one of those early. Not only is it good to have a weapon, it's also really nice to have access to spin speed early on, so you can clip through walls a little bit more easily. The alternative to spin speed is usually mashing a bunch of buttons at the same time, which is fine. It's not that hard, but it is kind of laborious to have to do it over and over again. Alright, so one of the funny things about finding the flippers early is it actually in some ways makes these checks a little bit slower. Because you lose your water walk right here at the whirlpool, and then you have to swim. And when you go to Zora, it's even slower. But I don't think Amarith will be going to Zora, because she doesn't have rupees, unless there are rupees here. MrByer has to take a second peek at that boomerang that's in the Spectacle Rock Cave, because it kind of looks like a Keen of Samaria or a hookshot if you only see the bottom of it. Ooh, risky jump down on that dead rock there. One of the downsides to clipping up the top of the mountain instead of the bottom of the mountain is you are in a little bit more danger going to the old man. And if you die there, you don't get spawned back at his cave. So you have to climb the mountain again. Yes, early on I have experienced this myself, is like doing the waterfall check too late puts you at risk of picking up a heart piece. And when you pick up a heart piece and it refills you, it dunks you, it puts you back in that swimming state instead of the water walk state. And you can't open the chest that way. And if you don't have the moon pearl, you can't get your water walk back. Ooh, Amarith was good, but popped out just a little bit too early. And not in a good position to open the back of escape tombstone. I wonder if she had tapped right after popping out, if it would have popped her to the left. I don't know the answer to that. It's just something I would be curious about. Early hula hand play is also very common in glitch modes because you have access to Zora right away. And because you have access to Houlihan for free just by clipping off the mountain, it messes up your camera just enough, and it gets you back to Link's house so you can walk back in and get just enough money to actually do Zora. So that could be an advantage for MrByer, who will be rich enough to check that item when he gets there. Ooh, gotta acknowledge that anti-fairy skip MrByer pulled off. Especially because he's only on 3 hearts and he's about to do Mini Moldorm Cave, so risking that damage there is... Ooh, speaking of damage. The thing with anti-fairy skip though is there is a visual cue. While you're pulling the lever you can watch to see if you're even able to make it or not, but you still have to do the inputs correctly. Alright, I missed the Moon Pearl. I'm assuming that was a Mini Moldorm Cave. It's a pretty standard Pearl location for any mode. Not very interesting. MrByer has not seen the flippers yet, I think. But he'll see them on the way back. So when he has his water walk, he'll run past the island and look at them and be glad he doesn't have them, because he will have a water walk going through Zora when Amarith didn't, and actually save time. I don't know if it makes up for the fact that he does have to save and quit to get them, whereas Amarith is able to do all of that in one save and quit session. Another thing he was able to do is bonk there to splash back to the door, which is faster, but if you try to do it while having flippers, you will go back into swimming state and not save any time. So Amarith found a chicken in Kakuiko and also a hammer. Always good to have one of those. MrByer's thinking about it. He's thinking, how do I want to get this? You can teleport on these slopes. I don't know what his plan here. Oh, wow. Did he just count frames doing that? Like, just clip in the right number of times? Doing a teleport on water edges is difficult because your visual cues move around. So you have to rely on counting frames. Very efficient. And I do think that getting it there probably did save time over having to save and quit and do a clip. Plus it means that he can get both items. If he wants whatever's on the ledge and then he also gets the Zora item, he would have an awkward time. Speaking of awkward times, Amarith finding out what happens when you cheat the wrong way at the maze race. You do have to do a very specific set of inputs after getting the item to not get stuck. Very easy to get back to the desert area though. It's not the end of the world. It's a blue mail Amarith probably won't be getting, but that's okay, it's just blue mail. There's 2 of those and they're not necessarily required. They also aren't necessarily good. I like blue mail a lot, especially in the early game, but if you get red mail before you are equipped with like a mirror moon pearl, then you might find yourself losing time on death warps in a way that can really add up over the seed. So you might notice MrByer has the pearl. That's Darkworld access. It doesn't mean that it's always the right place to go. You still have to think about all of your options together. So it's not just, okay, now that I can go to the Dark World, where do I go? It's you still have all of these locations left. You have Kakariko, you have East Death Mountain. They're full of items, probably denser than most things you can do in the Dark World. And if you were to go to Kakariko, for example, you would be rewarded with a hammer, which would make Thieves Town a little safer to do early on. Whoa. Wait. I just blinked and MrByer's Tempered Sword. Were they in the same place? Like, next to each other? Or did I miss a Spiral Cave sword? Nice. The mirror is nice too. If you get that before Pearl, it can be a little nerve-wracking because it opens up some Dark World locations that the Pearl can be in. But MrByer has the peace of mind knowing that the Pearl will not be there because he has it in his pocket. So it seems like MrByer's considered the mirror to be a good enough reason to go into the Dark World. If he wants to do CAC, he can do it while doing Village. I don't know how worth it is to do that. I always think it's a good idea until I'm there, and then I find myself awkwardly mirroring over and over again to check things like the maze race and the library and regretting my life. It's one of those things I might bully MrByer into timing if he's watching the restream back. But it's also a pretty complicated thing to time, so everyone just goes by vibes. Okay, MrByer going to Skull Woods. I'd like to think he was going for the one and done there, but he did find a key which allows him to check the rest of the front. One and done is when you open that first chest, and if it's an item, you just leave. But if you find a key, then it's a lot easier to clear from the front than to go to the middle and steal a key and then do the front. And he is rewarded with half magic. It's not a bad consolation prize for dipping a pendant. So while both of them are retracing each other's steps, I'm just talking so people can check my audio. Let me know if I'm still too loud. I'm now at 75%. Amarith found her pearl. MrByer found his hammer. Those are the important things in these locations. I don't think there was much else. I think a glove showed up for Amarith somewhere, but I don't remember where. It must have been around here. It might have been the maze race. Funny thing about maze races, if it is there, you can dupe it with a potion. Probably not worth doing, but a glove, like a mitts, can actually save a lot of time in overworld routing. Even if it's not required for anything. Oh yeah, the escape exists. The escape can be a big swing point in a race. It's really easy to avoid doing it for a long time. It's basically just a pendant dungeon. Yeah, the other thing about the escape is you also often just find most of the items in the back of escape. You can get to the middle of escape, Dark Cross, through Tower of Hera, through a clip, if you really want to, so it's really easy to talk yourself out of doing that. And then when you're here, it's just a matter of, you know, 3 checks at most. It might even be less, if one of them's a key or a map. So now MrByer can do Thieves Town with a clean conscience. He has the hammer. This is going to be a pretty normal Thieves Town. Really nothing to talk about here. He has blue mail, tempered sword. It's more than you have an NMG. Guess Amarith doesn't care about the Death Warp. Nice sword. I think that would be a bigger deal if there weren't just 2 of them sitting in Paradox Cave next to each other. She's probably feeling pretty pleased about that sword. I feel kind of bad for her because I know that she's going to be disappointed when she finds the other 2 swords like right away. This looks like it's going to be her first play up the mountain. Alright, MrByer has the opportunity to show off some routing knowledge. If he goes to Maiden Cell and there is no small key in the chest, it is faster to mirror out with the Maiden. Let's go. No, MrByer! You're losing time. Oh, he's just gonna run. Okay. This is, so if you are missing both, if you're like missing the glove and you also don't need to get the big chest of thieves, it is faster to mirror with the Maiden. This was timed before Fast ROM, where those first, 2 rooms of Thieves Town are super laggy, so it's even faster now. The hard part about the trick is getting to mirror fast enough. Like, realizing fast enough that you're not getting the big chest and getting to mirror. Because that's probably not the item you're on. Fast enough to actually save the time. Oh, there's another glove here. That's cool. So, I guess he won't be duping the Maze Race glove. I don't think he was going to anyway, but I like the thought. Alright, nice. Mira taking advantage of the menu buffer. She's doing King's Tomb. That's a Sphere 1 location. That's easy to talk yourself out of as well. So we'll see if this brings up an advantage for her. She has just 10 arrows, which is a lot more than MrByer has. I don't know how he has 7. That's a very weird number. My thought is that he found the single arrow, and then he also did chess game and got 1 arrow. And then got 5 from a drop. It's from like a pot in Thieves Town or something. Alright, we've got a blue potion. I expect to see some shenanigans with that potion. You don't have a lot of opportunities to do bottle glitches in HMG, but blue potion is one of the exceptions. You can do a fake flute, which is just using the potion on a screen transition in the overworld, puts you in the flute menu, whether you're not in the dark world or the light world. Can be a good way to just get around if you happen to have one in your pocket, or can be a way to get to a place as a bunny and have Super Bunny and skip the Moon Pearl for a little bit, but that's not necessary. My error looks like it was Ether. That's not the medallion that Amarith has. Doesn't mean that the Bombos medallion is irrelevant, however. Bombos can be accessed to Cold Stare and Freeze or Chest in Ice Palace. The Fire Rod will be required in the seed because of Turtle Rock, but Fire Rod could also be in Ice Palace, so having Bombos going in is pretty good. Oh, it was Ice Rod at Maze Race? Oh, that's even worse. She could have... Or, MrByer could have missed the glove and been fine, but the Ice Rod is very required. Love to see a good tournament winner sign. I would worry more about one of the winners missing, because the game hasn't been updated in a bit. But it's just Tam again. We already have Tam on that board. Just read it twice, and you'll be fine. Oh, here we go. He's not going to miss this. Oh, the glove is on the library. Okay, I wasn't that far off. Not dupable in this mode, sadly. And the Ice Rod's not dupable just because it's an Ice Rod. You don't need 2 of them. So he had a plan for this. I still think this is awkward and maybe not faster than just going to Sanctuary and doing a separate tour of the light world. But again, it's something nobody wants to time because it's too complicated. And then you'd have to time like where you mirror and how often. When is it worth staying in the world for a long time? I think Amarith was not happy to find 2 swords next to each other. Oh yeah, HMG and Doors Branch is... It's there. It's there. Muffins has our back. And Tam is on that sign twice. I think Amarith has run out of light world checks that are, make sense to do, and is now thinking about where to go in the dark world. That was what I think what that pause is about. This looks like it'll be just a normal, like... Oh, we're going to do a mirror offset. Probably? This could also be a super jump, but I think if you have a glove and hammer, you don't do that. So this is probably a mirror offset to go to Pyramid Fairy. So the way this works is every time she jumps off the mountain and wraps the screen, her map coordinates get shifted by a screen. So even though she is on the mountain, like her collision is on the mountain, she's interacting with the mountain as if she's there. If she were to place a portal down, it gets placed at the castle instead. And if she places the portal just right, it will be waiting for her. Oh, I love to see a good spin speed through desert. Dashing through desert is just awful. I don't remember if Amarith actually returned to Back of Escape after finding the glove. I have to assume she did. You usually do that before doing the Front of Escape. This is also probably how she's choosing to start the Dark World loop. You can start the Dark World loop basically anywhere you want and do a full circle. It also looks like MrByer ended his Dark World loop at the Light World to finish Maze Race and etc. and is now starting it over again at Hype Cave, taking advantage of having glove, hammer, and so on, and be able to just enter normally. So it wasn't as awkward as it could have been, mirroring all over the place. It's pretty good routing from both of them. Looks like, oh, Cane of Samaria, okay, it's definitely required. Fire Rod, also required. Now I have to start thinking about go mode. Still need a bow, still need a hook shot, still need ether. That's it. This is an Ice Palace play for Byer. He has Bombos. And Cane. He has no reason not to go here right now, except that, you know, he could be go moding it, but it's a crystal. You can clear it, and you have the Cane, so just do it. This might make it a little hard for him to get to the pyramid, but I don't think anything was there, so it's fine. If Amarith wanted to do Zora, this would be the time for it. Let's see if she does. Oh, this is her first Dark World map check as well. Looks like she will not be doing Zora. She's going to do a swim clip to cross the entire mountain or just to get to Easteth Mountain. Interesting that she's doing this clip. When I saw her setting up the offset portal, I assumed it was because she doesn't do the swim clip, which is the other way to get in there, and usually how people choose to do it if they have the pearl. But she's clearly capable of it, so that was just a routing choice. Oh, is this going to be a hover hookshot cave? I don't know if Amarith hovers. MrByer does not hover, but he does Moldworm bounce, but that doesn't matter in this seed. Oh, Ether's here. Oh, let's go. This could actually be a bit of an issue for MrByer if hookshot doesn't show up soon, because that chest isn't logic, but it's also kind of hard to talk yourself into doing it if you know that you're going to be leaving behind 3 other checks. Doesn't look like Amarith was super committed to the hover. In fact, it looked like she was just trying to get back, like bonking over the pots to return. Yeah, I mean, I've tried the hover too. We're both on emulator, and both of us can Moldworm bounce. So, like, once you have that, you have to like really be willing to put in a lot of hours into doing hookshot cave hovers. I don't know, it's just like when you play glitch modes, you usually have other ways to do that stuff, and you just deal with it if something is there. Once you've solved the Moldworm problem, it's not as pressing an issue. This is... Oh, this kind of hurts. I lost a race last night to this play. Going to middle of Turtle Rock without the cane. Cane can totally be here. It's awful. At least it's not here in this seed. Merit's probably not going to have a huge advantage from whatever's here, but, you know, it could happen. Mimic Cave could be hard for MrByer to get to, just because of how... it's not really on path if you're doing Turtle Rock from back to front. If you're doing it from the middle, it's on path. Oh, if she finds like a bow here, that could be huge. Just a rupee though. The big chest is similarly positioned to be maximally awkward for people who do TR from back to front. Oh, it's the other chance for Amarith to pull advantage from this play. So that's 2 crystals for MrByer. Yeah, very nice cold surf fight. It looks like he was going for the NMG strat and recognized that he had not quite gotten this spin dash thingy. What is it called? The poke dash. And used the fire rod to keep them under control, which is something you can really only do if you have magic. Oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, I don't know why I'm saying that. Amarith had Cane of Burnout. It was fine. Nothing special found here. I don't think she even got the big key, so she'll have to come back. Sometimes if you do TR from the middle early, you can at least get the big key and then have a faster path back to Trinex than somebody doing it all the way from the back if you're doing it later. MrByer's doing just straight to Turtle Rock here. He can do Turtle Rock and East Death Mountain together. I don't think he's going to have a problem getting Ether because after he kills Trinex, he can mirror back to the Light World and use the hammer pegs to get to East Death Mountain in the Dark World and get Ether. And if he's really lucky, he could find Hookshot here and do all of Hookshot Cave. I realize that Amarith doesn't actually know yet that Ether is acquired. But probably, you know, when you have 2 out of 3 medallions, you usually just assume that you have the medallion. If you have only 1 medallion, you definitely don't assume that. So at least it's some peace of mind. She doesn't have to worry about Meyer for a while anyway. It's not a place she wants to go yet until the cane shows up. Usually, you can justify going into Meyer without the cane and HMG a little better because of how it connects to Swamp and how often you have to go through it anyway just to unlock Swamp. It doesn't really cost a ton of extra time to do a double dip, but walking to Meyer is slow if you don't have an active flute. In NMG or No Glitches Rando, you do usually have a flute to get there, so there's definitely a difference between double dipping Meyer in glitch modes versus non-glitch modes depending on your equipment. Oh yeah, that refill for Byer was pretty clutch. He saved himself an extra mirror transition and the death. Because if he died, he would have been put in the Light World and had to do an extra mirror transition to get off of the Turtle Rock screen and get back to the real Dark World in a way that's useful. I missed what happened to Amarith. I thought she was going to GT, but maybe she did? No. I saw her coming out of Spike Cave. Maybe she didn't make it all the way out. I don't think I saw her in GT. Amarith did Laser Bridge? Oh, from Spike Cave. That's interesting. That's the only part of TR she can do, so She's done all of the TR checks that are available to her without the cane. She's about to find the cane here and probably be a little less happy about that. Especially in a place like Hype Cave. Cane and Fire Rod. The things you wanted to have in TR. Just sitting in Hype Cave. Is YBA or hook pushing allowed? No. YBA is allowed only in the overworld and not used very much because it's either just to speed up movement or skip the Moon Pearl, which you don't usually want to do, or for very specific overworld item dupes. But in the underworld, you can't YBA at all. It's banned, and hook pushing is banned in all places. I guess Amarith can do all of Meyer here. It's kind of cool. That will maybe save her some time. I'm not sure if she has a plan to do Thieves Town on this trip, or if she'll be doing it on a different trip. Because doing Meyer here will, like, she'd have to clip back up to get to Thieves, which is fine. It's just a little slow. It might be better to get there by other means later on. She could also do more of Skull Woods. I didn't count items for Byer. I know he found half magic there. I did not see if he found the other item. I feel like he didn't. I feel like he found a bunch of keys and didn't go to the middle. I don't even like doing Smith with the mitts. You don't usually see people do mitsless Smith in races. That's more of a multi-world thing. Ooh, wow, it's a good thing we have half magic. This is not going great for MrByer. He can pull it back, but he's on the wrong rod. And the ice head won't stop moving. This is a place where actually Amarith's gold sword would come in handy. It does make Trinex faster if you do it right. You can save a cycle. Okay, we'll be fine. I mean, if he really didn't want to die, if he felt like he was going to die, I think he could have taken the blue potion. He must have had enough faith in himself that he didn't feel like it was necessary. And it wasn't. So let's see what MrByer, not MrByer, has in store for Amarith. MrByer. MrByer. Okay, this is fine. It looks like he's about to orphan top of Dark Death Mountain. He's just gonna do the same thing Amarith did. He's gonna swim back up, I'm certain of it. The other thing he could do here is like fake flute off the edge, but he's already gone to the place where you would do that. Oh, actually you want those bombs? Alright. I have never met someone who loves bombs more than MrByer. Okay, this is Ether for MrByer. Very good. I was a little worried about it. Before he went to TR, I realized he had all this stuff to route this in, and he's very thorough with his routing. He doesn't tend to play super aggressively. He usually relies on chaining things together in creative ways. And not even going to take any chances with the big chest TR or Mimic Cave. I think he walked in and realized that That it had to be a key. Either that or he just expected it to be Mimic Cave and realized it wasn't and he had missed a step. And they will be meeting up here in MrByer. With MrByer having a 3-dungeon advantage, Amarith needs to start doing dungeons to catch up, or find something that MrByer is not going to find, which is pretty hard to do when MrByer's doing everything she's doing. She had some chances, but the luck just didn't work in her favor. Like, Kane was a little bit too free. Yeah, I was thinking about that fake flute actually, that the best place for him to use it would be to replace the real flute you would do to get to MrByer. And that's when you would do in the light world. If you try to flute to 6 in the dark world, you'll still be on that light world screen. And then you either have to transition off screen to get back into the MrByer area, or you have to take the portal twice instead of once. I know, I saw that. All the splashy dashies. There's something... I think the reason people do that in there is because they're chasing the fairies. You usually do have to get into the water a little if you want to get the heals. I didn't watch the key situation in Hera, but I think they were locked out of the climb coming from the bottom, so logically the game can expect you to open that big key door with the MrByer big key. Most people will instead just open the chests while in MrByer state and hope the hookshot shows up so they can climb faster later. And if you open all the Hera chests and you find all the Hera items in MrByer state, that's fine. You know the hookshot's going to show up eventually, and you can just do it later. So you almost never have to actually climb that way. In fact, like, you could skip the MrByer big key if you want to really gamble. Like, you could skip that cutscene chest by getting a different big key from Swamp or MrByer or Hera. But you have to know that it's available, and it's never guaranteed. Both the Hera big key and the Swamp big key can just be in the big chest of the respective dungeons. Yes, Holy Smoke is right. They are placed completely without logic. They do not exist until they're placed. As far as the game is concerned, they're just not required. But if they do happen to get placed in places where you can get to them earlier, then of course, then the game will see that a Hera big key is available and that, you know, the MrByer Medallion can be in the climb on Moldorm. And the Swamp big key doesn't matter at all. It's really just irrelevant. I think there's even some logic for opening the big chests of Swamp with a different big key, which is kind of a unique situation that only comes up in inverted and certain entrance modes. Ooh, we got double dark Myers. See the different strats. This is tricky. A lot of people do this with a hook shot. And if you don't have a hook shot, you need to have a backup plan. MrByer is in one-hit KO. This is making me a tiny bit nervous. It's really easy to just make a tiny mistake and get hit. Amarith going for some heals. Ooh. Oh, we get to do... Are we going to do prize on the eyes? Please leave one of those hearts on the ground for me. No! I'm so sad. So, if Amarith leaves a heart on the ground, a stun prize, in that room, then Vitreous's small eyes will drop hearts. It's not like the most useful thing, but it is. Oh, they are still dropping hearts. Oh, let's go, let's go. I love this glitch so much. I am a fan of the MSU here, how it is just like the kind of a ramped up version of the dungeon theme. It's very good. MrByer covering all his bases. He is killing Moldorm for the Moldorm item just to make sure Hookshot's not up here. Because if he gets every item at the top of Hera, then he doesn't have to unlock the door. You can just wait for Hookshot to show up. He did get a big key. A duplicate big key, which can lock an item, but he also could have just opened the big chest with the Meyer big key, so that did not give him anything useful. And, ooh, gross. I think Hera Basement has an item. Like, he wouldn't be opening these chests if he knew it was Map Compass and Big Key. Also, flooding. You don't see this very often anymore. Ever since Specky Clip, you don't see people flooding this room, but you need the hookshot to Specky Clip. I wonder if MrByer will go back in here. Oh yeah, he's setting up for it. So he is optimizing that room a little by opening the door and then walking through the door as the bomb goes off. Oh, never mind. He's just going to do it in Meyer State. I thought maybe he would do it in Swamp State. He might just be doing... Oh no, you got to get the item. he might just be doing all of Swamp in Meyer State here, hoping Hookshot's here. This could be a big tipping point for the race as Amarith goes into GT. She has a lot of checks available. In fact, she can do all of them. If she can hover Moldorm 2, she can actually just full clear this place. Oh, and also Mimic Clip. I don't think she's gonna do that. It's like, unless you're really good at both Mimic Clip and hovering, it's just gonna be a waste of time. Most of the time. Even doing this, having the hookshot and bow is slower than doing it last. You want to do it last because it's the fastest way to get to Ganon. But, of course, if you're not in go mode, you do want to do it earlier so you can have a chance at getting whatever item might be up there. I don't think hookshot and bow are likely to turn up at the climb, so I don't expect to see anybody doing out of logic climbs. Usually the hookshot is locked by small keys. Like the climb is locked by enough small keys that are hookshot locked in VT Rando that the climb will almost never have the hookshot. And of course it can only have one of the bows. There will always be another bow available. Mirror, shield, and cape. Not the most exciting right side GT. And that's the thing, is right side GT is also usually locked by small keys that are behind the hookshot. So it's another thing you're probably not going to find there. But the bow could be there and the big key is required too, so doing this early doesn't hurt that much. So, regarding this beetle here, all you have to do to deal with this beetle is when you walk out the door, just like move up a little bit, just a tiny bit to bait the beetle up, and then immediately move down below the door and bonk. And the beetle will never be in your way. Okay, what is Amarith's plan for this boss fight? Because she has no magic for Berna, no beams, and no bow. I think this is just going to be a slashy but boss fight. At least it's gold sword, which actually does do extra damage, unlike the tempered sword, which does fighter sword damage. Boomerang, definitely not going to save time. Like, the gold sword does make pretty quick work of them. It's just most people don't have a script for this, so they end up just walking around pressing B and flailing until it's over. It's not usually fast. So another, yeah, oh, MrByer's doing a pendant. Anything to avoid dipping pod, I guess. He might do pod too, but it's something you want to do with, I mean, if you're going to do pendant pod, like, you want to at least have the lamp to put the stuff in logic that's in the back. Like, I can't blame you for not doing this. And also, if he's going to do pod and or Bolus Eastern, doing the green pendant first makes some sense. You can at least chain them together. What is Amarith doing? This could be a sick kid check. I don't think she's actually done sick kid. Yeah, a sick kid. I don't know if there's anything else here. She might just go to the portal and do Thieves Town, which she hasn't done yet. She also might do more of Skull Woods than MrByer did, since she has less to do. She's kind of done most things. Both of them seem to have run out of things they feel good about and are now doing things they feel bad about. Wait a minute, we haven't even done Saw's Closet? Oh no, this is just Green Pendant. Oh, he hasn't done Saw's Closet. Okay. Did Amarith do Saw's Closet? Because I don't think I saw this from anyone. We're fine. It's nothing. But, geez, that would feel pretty bad if it was something. I also think MrByer might not have done the escape yet. No, he has some things maybe weighing on him as he goes into Bolus Eastern. And maybe just turning in the mushroom, actually. Maybe not doing Bolus Eastern. This is a mushroom play. He also might put a couple blue potions in his bottle for transportation purposes. Plane tickets. Also, shout outs to MrByer for actually timing this. Doing potion shop to King's Tomb with the mitts is fast. Doing it from there's a bunch of different equipment sets you can have, but doing it from Sanctuary is faster than doing it from the mountain, unless you have, I forgot what it was, unless you have the mitts, unless you don't have the mitts, because then you can't do this. But of course, doing it with Back of Escape makes a lot of sense. So what are we doing from the mountain? This could be another, this could be our pod. Pod and Eastern together. Yes. This is not pod, this is GT. So he will do all the stuff Amarith did, except Amarith didn't sequence break left side GT. When your go mode is hookshot and bow, that makes sense, because there are two bows, and hookshot's not going to be there. But if a bow turns up, then the Eastern dip is a lot nicer, right? Even the pod dip is nicer. Like, I can totally feel what MrByer is doing right now, is that he just doesn't want to do both Eastern and doing this instead. At least gives him a chance to find a bow before going in there. And then maybe hookshot could be in the first 4 chests as well. Starting with the torch. There's a key. I'm going to continue left. Do new checks. Nope. Just taking a key. Okay. Taking a key for... I'm not sure why he needed that pot key when he had one from the torch. Especially with one being here too. Oh, all 4... Oh, don't make me think about the logic. I don't think I have to think about the logic because I don't think anything was here, but that is a lot of keys in the front. That is all 3 things were keys. So, like, that means that this part might not actually be hookshot locked. And the climb not hookshot locked is a little scary to think about. But I think the big key is hookshot locked, so I think at least there's that, right? So, as Amarith takes down Blind and finds the mitts, she does have a pretty tempting opportunity to do the Smith Chain. It's not the nicest to do without a flute, but at least she has a mirror. And she's in the area, and her other option is Pendant Skull, so that might be the play. Let's see. I also don't know if she has done hammer peg, so that's more than just the 2 checks. She could also do just the smith and not the purple chest, because the purple chest is the one that you want the flute for, right? That does look to be the direction she's heading. I'm also not sure if MrByer did this. He must have, right? He had the mitts when he was here. You probably just didn't notice because there wasn't anything here. So does he stay or does he go? He is mirroring. That sounds like he's staying. There's no other reason to do that. Except out of reflex. Hookshot on the Smith. Huge find for Amarith. So if there's a bow in GT here, this could swing things a little in that the bow could distract MrByer from doing the Smith quest. Like, that could actually be pretty bad for him. If you're rooting for MrByer, I think you don't want him to find the bow here. Because Amarith is going to go here too to do GT. She still needs the big key. Which is here in the Hookshot locked room. And there's a ton of other checks. There's no reason the bow can't just be here. And it is a pretty tempting option. She could also do the Swamp Palace clear here. I think that makes sense for her. She's already unlocked it and she's like in the area, so yeah, might as well do it. Oh, ooh, MrByer's gonna climb. Notably, I think he didn't do the big chest. I guess this is fine. I don't see a huge benefit to doing this climb. He is probably not getting the Moldorm 2 chest, and he has to spend the time mimic clipping. Like, on one hand, it is kind of safe to do this because he's probably not leaving behind a bow in the Moldorm 2 chest. But on the other hand, he's also probably not going to find a bow up here, and he's definitely not going to find a hookshot. So if he's doing this, it might be for routing purposes, that he wants to be placed on the pyramid so he can clean up the stuff he left behind there. I don't know if he actually did the pyramid ferry or the front of escape. Yeah, he didn't do Random Room. That's wild, actually, because Random Room can have the bow. Like, no reason it can't be there, and could save him a ton of time here. And when is he going to come back for that? If he does the Smith before finding a bow, is he going to go back to Random Room looking for it? Or is he going to have to start thinking about Pendant Eastern? I mean, he already did Left Side Swamp, so unless it's in the back of Swamp, he probably won't be going there and finding anything. Nice, Gauntlet 2 RNG. I love that. And you can just dash down. So 300 rupees in the big chest of Swamp. Something Buyer is not able to get. Normally, in HMG, if you have the hookshot, you do a specky clip while in another dungeon and open the big chest with that dungeon key. And when you're in here without the big key, or without the hookshot, you don't have that opportunity, so it's kind of awkward, especially if you've already done Left Side Swamp in Buyer's case, to go back for that. And there's that small key. The small key in Swamp is also placed without logic, but once it is placed, if it lands in the first chest, then Swamp becomes available with the usual equipment, the mirror and the flippers and so on. If it gets placed anywhere else, then Swamp is considered locked behind all 3 MrByer small keys, which is what you're supposed to use to open that key door. So nothing in Swamp for Amarith, and this is the last chance for MrByer to find a bow. Quake, not necessary for anything. Not even the medallion for TR. So this is the best trick in the game. Moldorm Bounce. It's called that because Moldorm bounces you off the edge, and if you do it exactly right, you can get a ton of extra distance by getting damaged by your bomb on the same frame that you spin your sword and hit Moldorm. But it requires a lot of finagling Moldorm's RNG to cooperate. And if you run out of bombs, you hope the Wizrobes are on some kind of bomb pack, because it's your only chance. So let's see how he does it. He baits them that way, and then this is how I do it too. Okay. Moldorm doesn't always cooperate. Where's Amarith going? What is this? This is Ice Palace. She hasn't done Ice Palace yet. This is a lot of chance for her to catch up on the crystals that MrByer has done. If he pulls off this bounce, he'll still be in the lead, but if he doesn't pull off the bounce and has to climb again, that could be a pretty big disadvantage. This, questionable. Yeah, Moldorm turning up there was not what you want to see. What happened was Moldorm hit the corner and bounced upward. Trajectory just wasn't working out. So this, okay, now Moldorm's just being too slow. I don't think MrByer left behind anything in ice while he was here, so this will be a very normal clear for Amarith. She'll save a little time having hookshot for big chest. And, okay, let's see. This is... yeah, so that was questionable there because the tail... You have to also not hit the tail, because if you hit the tail, it will override the hit on the head, and then you won't get the bounce. Moldorm was just folded in half there, and it wasn't really giving him a good angle. And you couldn't get too close to Moldorm without being too far from the pit. So 6 bombs remaining. This is going to become the Moldorm bounce stream now. We've all seen Icebreaker. This is where the real content is. Oh no, Moldorm not cooperating again. Yeesh. Yeah, Buttersword doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think the only thing that matters is your, well, even your spin is the same hitbox with Fighter Sword. This is good. This is a really good angle to have Moldorm at. Just one more frame. Nope, never mind. It's a whole cycle. Oh, never mind. Now it's not good. Now I think MrByer has to win some frame rules. Yeah. It looked good, but he was actually on the wrong flash cycle and had to do a whole extra set of bomb frames where Moldorm can just charge into him and ruin his day. I mentioned frame rules. If you're pausing and unpausing, then every time you unpause, the game basically has like a 1 in 4 chance of registering a hit. Which is why MrByer is able to be this deep inside Moldorm's head without getting hit. He's winning a bunch of 1 in 4 like dice rolls. And oh, look at that, let's go! Let's go! He had to win so many frame rules for that. Love to see it. With 3 bombs remaining, Amarith gets through the Icebreaker side, using the hookshot to save a little time over Byer. Also, probably saving time in Moldorm 2 later. I have to imagine that will go a little better for her. Also, if the bow is in that chest, Amarith will have silver arrows for Ganon, and MrByer will never find that bow. So I have to imagine, first of all, nice clip. Clipping out of up here is, you can save time by getting the bird off screen and triggering the flute cutscene a little early. If you do it wrong, then you can lose all of your GT progress by soft-locking, so you have to be a little careful. Yeah, it's a cool trick. I'm assuming you're talking about clip. It's a one-frame clip that you do at the corner of Aga's Arena, and you do it because you have nothing better to do, and then after a while you actually get good enough at it to save time. It's usually how people progress. Or they're learning a speedrun where it actually saves a significant amount of time and they try hard, but I think most people just kind of go for it until they figure it out. So yeah, as I was saying, oh, you're talking about Moldorm balance. Yeah, it's pretty rare for Moldorm balance to come up in races where the runners can hover. For some reason, the glitch community seems to have a higher proportion of people who can Moldorm bounce. I'm guessing it's because we use select buffers for other things, so it's half of the learning is already done. Like half of learning Moldorm bounce is just learning how to select buffer, and glitch players already know how to do that. So yeah, as I was speculating earlier, MrByer was using that climb as an opportunity to route in the escape, because it's definitely faster to do 5 or 6 Moldorm bounce attempts than to run there from Link's house. Also way cooler. Sometimes you just gotta go for the style points. I didn't catch if Dark Cross is an item. I guess we'll find out very soon if it's a key, because MrByer is going in here without a key, and if the key is not in the first chest, it will just be in Dark Cross, and then he doesn't have to do it at all. I know I saw the map in the back. Okay, so yeah, Dark Cross is a key. Amarith is going to do, I imagine, more of GT Basement than MrByer did, and probably faster with the hook shot. So if a bow is here, that's huge advantage to her. That's go mode, in fact. Whereas we already know MrByer will not find bow in the escape because Amarith already cleared it. So what does he have left? He either has to find that hookshot on the smith, or go into Pod Eastern looking for a bow. Yeah, this is... I don't know, this is... The huge advantage that MrByer had just in clearing more crystals is eroding quickly, as he runs out of things he can do. And Amarith has the hookshot and can do a little bit more, and is also choosing to do a little bit more here. Which, like, MrByer could have done this, but chose not to. Can both bows be around the room? Absolutely, there's nothing stopping them from being there. Only one of the bows can be upstairs. And it can be in Moldorm's chest. I don't think Mimic Clip is... I don't think Amarith's gonna Mimic Clip in bow go mode. It just doesn't seem smart. I don't know. Maybe it's smart if you're good at it and you think because a bow can be there. I've had races where a bow is up there and the person Mimic Clipping found it and the other person had to look for the other bow, which is who knows where. So it's not... I'm not going to say it's not smart to do that. I'm saying you have to make your own decision based on, do you expect to save time yourself doing this, and what are the chances that your bow is there. Because the more you've done, the more likely it is that your second bow is up there. Okay, MrByer is on the path for hookshot. What does he do with this path? It's, probably just doing swamp, right? He's already done the slow part of swamp, so there's no reason not to do the fast part. He also has to clean up Hera. Both of them do. He killed Moldorm, but still has to go back for the crystal. That's something he will probably do at the end. It's not... I don't think there's really any reason to do it early. He could do it on the way to Hookshot Cave. That's an option. Both of them have left behind 3 items in Hookshot Cave. Pretty good density for what we have left. Yeah, we saw only a bonk shot from both runners. They had ether. Oh, Amarith is mimic clipping. Let's go. So Amarith can get the Moldorm 2 chest. And that can be a bow. We'll wait and see if that is a bow. Also, there's some other interesting things that can happen with that chest. If it's the lamp, for example, it can tell her where a bow is more likely to be, so she can prioritize checks a little better. She also found the powder in Rando Room. It might be a little hard for her to get back to checking that just because there's no flute. But if you could just run there, it's fine. She could run there and then use the portal and go to Skullwoods, for example. Just as expected. Swamp play for Byer. This is the thing that makes sense, at least to me. Really no downside to doing this now. He will also face that awkward big chest situation. Actually, he won't. He opened the big chest with the Meyer big key when he was here. So at least he won't have to do that. Okay, here's another mimic clip for Amarith. This is the harder one. Looks like she's got the unbuffered method down. Pretty huge speed difference between unbuffered and buffered if you're good at unbuffered. Even if you're good at buffered, it's still super slow. Alright, so Byer taking advantage of that key, the swamp, the no logic swamp small key. You can use it to skip one key in the back of swamp, save a little time. Amarith is struggling a little with this mimic clip. She's starting to lose the advantage she might have for having cookshot from Moldorm 2. So I think MrByer was able to get this a little faster. But it's also hard to get out of it once you're this deep, especially if you've already done the first room. So where will MrByer go next? Again, it's that hookshot cave, pretty tempting. He's gonna run somewhere. Where does he have to run to? I don't even know what's here that he hasn't already done. Apparently the tablet? thought he came from here, but I guess not. Maybe I saw Amarith do it earlier. Either way, it's not a bow. If it was a bow, Amarith would not be in this room. Oh, book was in swamp. Okay. So I guess I was extremely wrong about seeing Amarith doing that earlier, because that also wasn't possible. Yeah, this looks like it'll be Hookshot Cave coming out of... Probably coming out of cleaning up Moldorm. This is just Crystal for MrByer. He doesn't need... there might be something in here basement, actually. I don't know if we'll do it, but it is there. You know what I probably saw? I probably saw both of them coming from purple chest screen. They both did the same thing, they get to hookshot, right? And then they escort the purple chest. Probably because it's on the way to swamp. And also because it's just part of the smith chain, and even if you find the hookshot, you might want to continue where you are rather than leaving that behind, because that would be really hard to get back to. Yeah, this has to be Hookshot Cave. I don't think there's anything else MrByer can do on East Death Mountain that he hasn't already done. All he has left is Eastern. And there it is. There's a bow in Hookshot Cave. Might as well open the other two. The other bow could be here. Oh, you don't open it. Not worth going back for it when you fall. That would be really funny if that's a bow, though. I guess we'll find out. Again, we'll say, did you find the bow in the Dark World? And there's no Dark World left to find it in, so... Ooh, fake flute. Not a fake fairy. I don't know what that... I think he actually just quick-swapped. I do love the use of the fake flute just to get to Eastern a little faster. Just use it the same way you would use a real flute. Yeah, this mimic clip is... It's hard. I hate this trick. She's getting pretty far in, but you do have to do 8 consecutive inputs. And if you miss one, the mimic just pops out again, and you have to start over. This is a trick that I find, like, physically exhausting to do. Ah, MrByer! Have you been here already? Do you have a big key? Why isn't the mimic actually shooting Amarith? The reason is that there were too many sprites on the screen. The screen is actually like all the mimic screens together, and normally you kill them on the way in, but because Amarith mimic clipped instead, they're still there, and they're still taking up sprite slots, so the mimics can't fire, and the Igor can't fire. Or the, what do you call that thing? The BMOS can't fire. Okay, Amarith giving up on the mimic clip. She's gonna find Bo really soon, I think. Just, this is probably the same thing, tablet, and then... Yeah, MrByer did in fact forget that he needs a big key for Eastern. I can laugh because I did the same thing last night in GT. And of course it's in the first chest too. He probably did, I missed it, but he probably did open the chest after Stalfos, just hoping it was there before doubling back. Because if it is there, then, you know, amazing, right? You just kind of bumbled your way into saving a ton of time in Eastern. But of course, if it's not there, then you have to go back and feel really dumb. They stop at the subtile boundary. They stop at the super tile boundary, I think. Because I've definitely seen them cross over into other subtiles. apparently, right, Amarith did not actually finish Turtle Rock. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty sick. That is a very swag way to put a platform there. I love it. Yeah, this makes sense. Get your big key, and then on the way to the back of TR, you just do Hookshot Cave on the way, and then... yeah, easy peasy. Why are we going this way? I mean, yeah. I think she has to wait for the torch to go out. Yeah, MrByer is done. Like, he's walking to Ganon right now. He's already done the climb. He's already done every crystal dungeon. Now, Amarith is about to be in go mode, so at least... It always feels bad when your opponent finishes and you're not in go mode. Yeah, not happy about that. Probably even thinking about, like, oh, I could have hovered that, but... or, I don't know if she knows if MrByer can hover or not. It also might just be I just spent the last 10 minutes trying to mimic clip, and the bow is just sitting here. I do appreciate the dedication to just not doing pod. Screw pod. It's pretty out of logic too. Like, no bow, no lamp, and it's a pendant. Just don't bother with it. Ganon? It's in pod. Okay, let's go. No, don't do pod. It's probably just bow locked in pod. It's probably on Helmasaur, and you got a basement clip to it. I wonder if MrByer feels like, you know... I mean, he's in Ganon and Amarith hasn't finished yet. He probably feels fine, but at the same time, like... against... like, you don't know what your opponent did, but there's definitely an opponent out there. A theoretical opponent who did pod. And that doesn't feel good. At least it wasn't my tower, because he did leave behind a lot of chests there that were available to him, and one that was not. And that is GG for MrByer, taking game 1 in this series, best of 3 series against Amarith. Amarith has to be a little careful. She is on green mail, and that's 1-hit KO for the heads of Trinex. The bodies do 1 damage. Oh! Okay, you touched the paw. That's okay. The head, less okay. But that will be... oh, we have a fairy. Never mind. It's fine. There we go. I think she had a blue potion too, so the magic wasn't really an issue. And that's Trinex down for Amarith. And with that, Crystal Amarith has chosen to forfeit this race. Both of them are waiting in chat to interview, and we'll be pretty quick about this because my race starts in 20 minutes. GG, MrByer and Amarith. GG.
GG's.
How did you feel about that bow location?
A little mad.
Yeah, I think both of you were rather late to it just because of where the hook shot was.
Yeah.
It's a hover seed.
Did we find the other one, or?
Well, you know, Ganon tells you where it is, but don't worry, it's just in pod, and that doesn't exist.
I thought about going there, but
I am wondering, because I was very surprised to see both of you go for the Mimic Clip climb, with MrByer also going for the Moldorm bounce climb.
Okay, I normally don't do that when I'm not in go mode, but I felt like it was safe because the big Q is hookshot locked, so the hookshot's not up there. And the bow, if it's up there, it's behind the other bow. So one is guaranteed to be accessible. So it's like, and I didn't really have any, like, everything else was like pen and dungeon, so may as well get it out of the way.
I was having one of those feelings of just like, this is gonna be one of those dumb seeds where there's just a bow up there for no particular reason.
Yeah, and you know, one of the risks of Moldorm bouncing is you do leave an item behind, which is why it would be a risky play for MrByer. I am actually even more wondering why you left behind the rest of GT, like Mimic Cave, not Mimic Cave, what's that place called? Rando Room, big chest, which can have the bow.
Yeah, I figured if I found hookshot first, I could come back to GT and just do that. I probably should have, but yeah, it's fine. It's like 5 items in the back. Left, I guess. And big chest. I guess big chest. So 6.
Yeah, I think 6, yeah. Yeah, my hand's way out of practice and just got way too sore trying to do it.
So it would have been a more fun seed if it was just Pendant Eastern, and the Mimic Clip actually mattered a little more.
Yeah.
Or Pendant Swamp.
Well, I've said in the past, Mimic Clay was my least favorite glitch, and that's still true. And
I agree. Like, the reason I don't do Basement Clip to skip bow is because I don't want to also have to Mimic Clip.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that was one of my better ones, but it still felt kind of annoying. And also that Moldorm bounce was also... I know I haven't practiced in a while, but that was particularly rough for me. It's not usually how those go.
I feel like you got some pretty bad RNGs. I don't think those were your fault most of the time.
Yeah.
Also, like, aside from the Flippers location, are we sure that this was glitch logic? Like...
I mean, the Flippers were the first thing you saw. You go out of Link's house and you see Flippers on the island. I think that's a pretty good indication that you're in a glitch seed. So, of course, the glitch seed can feel pretty confident in its identity and place the mitts, or the glove, and hammer and moon pearl in the light world. Yeah. And then make you do smith chain to get the hook shot. Because, of course.
See, the thing was, I was actually kind of nervous near the end, since I ended up kind of somewhat unintentionally doing some live routing experimentation. But, I think the smith chain is one of the things you could feasibly get on the first trip of Dark World, because you have the first glove in Library and the second glove on Thieves, so you could get it.
Yeah, you were very equipped to do that early.
Yeah, but because of the order I did it in, it's like...
Amarith also did it in a weird order. Like, Amarith also put off Thieves Down Forever, because did a south to north route.
Oh.
If you do a north to south route and are not also trying to do light world checks, then... I don't know, I think even with the light world checks, you can probably get Smith in there. It's just the more light world checks you try to get in with the mirror, the more awkward it gets, and you start to wonder whether you should have just gone to Sync, or Sync to Kakariko instead of mirroring everywhere. But I was pretty impressed with the way you were able to avoid the trap of just mirroring every 5 seconds to check light world.
Yeah, I knew that was an issue, so I was trying to minimize it possible. The first one I wasn't like entirely expecting to do, but I realized like I probably should in case Hammer's in CAC, which it was. So, um, just to not make the thieves, just to not like end up like orphaning something in Thieves Town when you could avoid that. But I ended up like orphaning Smith Chain, so see how that worked out for me.
We were a little worried about Ice Rod. Yeah, but you figured it out. I think a big part of that was being able to do Hype Cave later from the portal. And I don't think... I think that would have been a lot harder if you were trying to get Hype Cave in the same trip, because you would have to take that Dark World portal with you to the Light World checks that you did last.
In my
that ice rod.
Maze Race?
Oh, yeah. I would have gone there at some point, but yeah. So I wasn't originally gonna do the second mirror, but for precisely that reason, I was gonna just like stay in Dark World, continue all the Hype Cave because it was hard to enter. But once I got that glove in Thieves Town, I was like, okay, this is a lot easier, so I'll just finish Desert Loop instead.
So this series isn't over yet, but you are competing to play the winner of Holy Smoke versus Gabriel J. Campos, who are also partway through the series, with Holy Smoke having a one-game advantage. You don't have to think about that for too long, but eventually that path does lead you through maybe Gamachu as well, or Duden and Leaf. There's a whole bunch of bracket going on, and of course it's double elimination, so loser also gets to play a bunch of fun opponents who I will say, and this is something JD said a few tournaments ago, is that nobody in this tournament can afford to underestimate their opponent.
No, never underestimate anyone.
Yeah, so you can't just say like, oh, I'm probably going to end up playing Tam, because you don't know. Like, Tam could get wiped out by their opponent. Gamachu is sitting there in the bye bracket, but has to beat the winner of Leaf and Duden to get to that next round, so you just don't know. And of course, if they do get beat, then you're in the lower bracket playing against someone like Tam, and you're like, oh, come on. This is what I get. So anyway, there's more Hyper Major glitches happening tonight and a lot more this weekend. In 15 minutes, there will be another match between me and BDI. That's a game 2 as well, with BDI having a 1-game lead. We are looking for a tracker if you want to join us. And one co-commentator. If you want to do comms, you will be joining Obscure Lifeform on that race. So I hope to see you there. I will be ending this now just so I can, prepare for my race. I hope everybody has a good night.